Whether it's calling attention to the number of missing people under suspicious circumstances in Mexico or protesting for a release of prisoners of conscience around the world, Amnesty International has been championing human rights for nearly 6 decades. Their newly released annual report claims actions by leaders in Egypt, the Philippines, Venezuela, China, Russia, and the United States have been undermining the rights of millions.
They've openly defied human rights laws. They have called for others to defy those laws. In the case of the Filipino president, Duterte, he's actually called on people to go out and kill those that they suspect of being drug dealers.
The report also criticizes U.S. President Donald Trump on his immigration policies, for undermining press freedoms, and for his poor record on women's rights. VOA has reached out to the White House and the State Department for comments, but did not get a response.
One of the most egregious examples is his adoption of the global gag rule. So organizations that have long offered counseling, advice, information about abortion or other reproductive health services have to make a choice between their patients and getting funding from the U.S. government.
A women's rights advocacy group says the global gag rule has cost organizations like theirs millions of dollars in lost funding.
So already in places like Madagascar, Uganda, Zimbabwe, we've seen programs particularly serving vulnerable women. Things like voucher programs that we use to help the private sector serve women to access contraception have already stopped being able to be accessed by women.
The report claims free speech suffered in 2017 and pointed to China, Egypt, and Turkey as the biggest offenders. VOA has contacted the embassies of those countries in the U.S., but they have not yet replied.
Turkey has imprisoned more than 50,000 people over the last couple of years, including both the chair and the director of Amnesty Turkey. And this by a government that is led by someone who was once an Amnesty prisoner of conscience. And now he has turned around and arrested our human rights leaders as part of an effort to arrest anyone who's been critical of the government, which is the same kind of situation we're seeing in Egypt and China.
The report does note signs of progress in the Women's March and Me Too movements. It also applauded Taiwan for its decision to allow gay marriages. Mariama Diallo, VOA News, Washington.